Hello, I am Bridget Rowe. I am energy, I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. The purpose of this video is to encourage you to be blind to anything negative happening to you throughout the course of the day. To create any negative situation to immediately transform that situation into good. So, I want to share a story with you that happened to me the other day. The other day I was leaving for work and I was headed home. And I had to merge to get on this particular ramp. I had to merge in with the traffic. And I was at peace this day. And I'm not saying this to paint a pretty picture of me. I'm not always the perfect driver. I'm not. But on this particular day, I was just at peace. And so the cars was just passing me up. About 4 or 5 cars is passing me up. And nobody would let me get on the ramp on this particular day. Normally people just let me in and stop for me. But this day was a tad bit different. And so all the cars was getting close to the car in front, really, really close. So I could not squeeze in. So I started to merge in anyway. I started to merge into, after about 4 or 5 cars had passed. So I merged in and I got in front of this vehicle who didn't want me to get in. Right? And I can tell just by the energy that they didn't want me to get in. They were blowing their horn at me repetitively. And they were doing body language or body movements or whatever in the back. So much so that the car was like moving. As I looked in the rearview mirror, I could see the car just moving like, they really mad just because I got in front of them. Right? And so what I did was I tilted my rearview mirror up so I couldn't see that energy, because I was not about to allow that energy to be transferred to me because I was having a good day. I get on this particular ramp and I get all the way over in the left lane. I got all the way over in the left lane, and so did this particular vehicle. They followed me in the left lane. And so as I began to pass up some of this other traffic, I moved over and got in the middle lane. I'm in the middle lane. I'm not looking back. I can't see this particular person, but I knew that they got in the left lane behind me because they were still blowing their horn, right? So anyway, I'm in the middle lane now, and I'm listening to something on YouTube that's, that I like to listen to in the evening. This particular soothing energy. And I'm just driving. And about 4 minutes later, once it was like at the peak of this particular bridge, I can see in my rearview mirror the lights of a SUV, of a state trooper. The lights, they're really, really far away, but I can see them because my rearview mirror is still tilted up. That's all I saw was the lights. And I saw that they were in my lane. And so because I saw that they were in my lane, I got in the right lane. And as this vehicle got closer, it got in the right lane behind me. And so I was like, well, I just got over. I was like, well, let me go get in the other lane. I went and I got in the far left lane because, I was trying to, give him the middle lane and the right lane. And he came behind me in the left lane. And so then I put my rearview mirror down so I can see, the driver himself, to see what was going on back there. And I saw the police officer. He was signaling for me to get pulled over, to get on side of the road. And I was thinking to myself, well, why is he pulling me over? What is going on? And so I pulled over on the side of the bridge, at the peak of the bridge. And I put both of my hands out of the window because I had tinted window. I put my head and my hands out, and I looked back and I was asking him, what's going on? What can I help you with? And he asked me to get out of the car. And I was like, but why? It's cold out there. Anyway, he asked me again to get out of the car. And before I got out of the car, I closed my eyes. And I imagined whatever it was that this particular police officer wanted, that I was going to be able to walk away laughing and getting in my car and going home. I was creating my reality, right? And so I get out of the car, I go to the back of the car, and I have both of my hands together. And I tilted my head and I looked at him and I said, hi, how can I help you? And he said to me, ma'am, we got a call saying that you were brake checking. And so now my car and his SUV is on the bridge on the side, and we were in between both of them, you know, so we were behind my car. And I looked at the back of my car. Now this year, I don't know the terminology, so this went over my head. And I looked at the back of my car and I said, no, officer, my car is fairly new. I don't remember getting out my car to check my brakes. I don't need to check my brakes. And so the police officer, he laughed. He chuckled a little bit at me. He's like, ma'am, brake checking is when you're pumping your brakes so no one else will get in front of you. And I was still looking at my brakes, and I looked at him and I was like, oh, no, that was just a white lady that didn't want a black woman to get in front of her on the road. I said, I wasn't brake checking. I'm in good spirits. I ignored her. I tilted my rearview mirror up. That's why I didn't know what you was doing back there. And he said to me, he's like, are you sure you don't have any road rage going on? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I said, I'm in my car listening to Love Manifestations. If you want to listen to it, I could open up the door. I don't think people with road rage listen to that kind of stuff. I said, I'm fine, but I know exactly who that was, because I know she was angry at me, and she had to have gotten my license plate because I got in front of her and she didn't want to let me in on the ramp. And so he was like, okay, well, I had to check, you know, we just have to check. And when I pulled up on you, I didn't see you brake checking. So, okay, I just wanted to check. He didn't ask me my name, my driver's license number, or anything, but he just asked me if I was having road rage. And I looked at him and I said, oh no, I'm fine. I said, you have a good day, you be safe, and you stop worrying, okay? And he just laughed at me again and just kind of shook his head at me and got in the car. And I smiled and I got in my car and I pulled off. And I'm saying this because, you know, there's a lot of clips I see online, you know, with situations that some, I'm not judging, but some situations can be diffused by the way we handle them. I'm saying this because, yes, I know that some people are going to just hate you. They don't have to really know who you are. They could feel that energy and just feel threatened by you just because of your positive energy, because they don't have it at that particular time. Because see, we underestimate lower energy beings. Well, and I'm not talking about white and black issue here. I'm talking about any person that have a low frequency. We underestimate them because let me tell you something. They know high energy beings. Lower energy beings know who you are, and they will hate you just because you are in a place that in this lifetime they will never be. So anytime somebody hates you is because they are either threatened by you, hate themselves, or want to be you. Lower energy beings know who you are. You created them to remind you to keep going, to piss you off so much that you will not give up. So they will do things. They will throw those tactics. They will call a police officer against you, to fight against you. They will use that as a weapon toward you. But I want to remind you about something that you said that was going to take place in your matrix. You said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. That's what you said. So I want you to not to sweat the small shit. Okay? That's what I need you to do. Because we have mountains to move. We have worlds to create. And it is my promise to you that lower energy beings will not be there. Okay? Stay focused and be blessed.